Right. It should be good. Okay. Hello, everyone. Things pop up. Just read them out. All right, there we go. All right.
No big deal.
I guess it's noon. And then even if you want to go on your phone and try to watch it just to see, that would probably be a good idea. Sorry, I have assistance today. Welcome to Colavita Cooking Live. We have a special treat for you. You may have noticed something in the back here. I shall explain. But today we are giving you a Neapolitan pizza lesson, a real Neapolitan pizza lesson, because I have behind me the Colavita Pizza Truck. This is an actual wood-fired oven made in Italy that we have put into a Dodge ProMaster van, and we drive it around and serve samplings, or we do charity events. We do a lot of endurance events, a lot of stuff. There have been fewer events this year because of COVID-19, but we thought, what a great way to show off the truck and show you how to make real Neapolitan pizza, then do a Colavita Cooking Live with it. So here it is. I'll give you a little bit more information about that, but I also wanted to introduce King Arthur Baking. They have generously donated some of their brand new Type 00 pizza flour for this episode, and I have used it to make the pizza dough for this episode. So just so you know, I have a few talking points about this flour, which I will get into, but this is a Type 00 flour, which I will talk about, but this is the kind you use for Neapolitan pizza. And this is made and ground to the highest standards. It's all U.S. wheat, made by King Arthur Baking Company, which is the oldest flour company in the United States, and 100% employee owned by people that love to bake. And it is also a certified B Corp. So I think those are the things that I really wanted to highlight. We're super excited to be featuring their flour and thank them for donating it. Goes really well with Colavita olive oil, I have to tell you. So if you do have comments or questions, please throw them into the comments and I'll do my best. And if I miss one or we don't get to it, I'll try to circle back later and answer your questions. So first of all, what is Neapolitan pizza? I hope everybody can hear me too. Are comments coming through?
Yep.
Cool.
I think, is that your mom?
Yes.
She misses the truck.
Awesome. All right, cool. So what is Neapolitan pizza? Neapolitan pizza is a style of pizza that was born in Naples, Italy. And it has certain regulations around it. There's actually a whole association dedicated to policing authentic Neapolitan pizza. And one of those regulations is about the dough and the flour. So in America, we usually have like bread flour or pizza flour or all-purpose flour, and we choose these flours because of how much gluten they have in them. In Europe, they designate their types of flours by how finely they're ground. So you have from type 2, which is the most coarsely ground flour, to type 00, which is the most finely ground. And you use this for pizzas, you also use it for pastas. And so a type 00, in terms of protein content, it can vary. It's similar to all-purpose, so it could be about 11 to 12.5%. And that is going to give you a strong dough, strong enough, but still chewy, and the finely ground flour will make it really light and fluffy. It'll be just like heaven, really, honestly. So that is why we use this for Neapolitan pizza. The other restrictions relate to the toppings, and what you need for Neapolitan pizza are simple crushed tomatoes, no marinara sauce or anything doctored, simple crushed tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, which can either be fior di latte, which is a cow's milk mozzarella, or mozzarella di bufala, which is a buffalo milk, salt, olive oil, obviously, Colavita, and basil. That is it. There are a few variations, but there are no fancy toppings here. Some of those, creative pizzas that I make, they're based in Neapolitan tradition, but then I've kind of expanded on them and taken them to new places. But this is really what it's all about. So, the other thing that makes a Neapolitan pizza is the time it takes to cook and what you cook it in. So, you have to cook it in a wood-fired oven for about 60 to 90 seconds. And so that is really fast. And the reason it can cook so fast is because this oven is over 800 degrees. So usually, these things can go 1200 degrees. It is just flash cooking. So what you'll see when you bake it up is that your crust around the edge will have little char marks, depending on how hot your oven is. Sometimes they're black. It's totally normal. And sometimes they're a lighter brown. But the center of your pie will be a little, we'll call it soupy, and this isn't a bad thing. Your crust is not gonna stay perfectly level if you held up a slice. It's gonna droop a little bit, and that's something you want. It's gonna be a little fresh and definitely moist and fluffy. So, I'm gonna fire up a pizza that I made with King Arthur's flour, and I'm gonna put it in there and show you how we bake it. So another thing about the King Arthur flour is that while I'm gonna make this in this fancy pizza oven, this flour is perfect for making your version of Neapolitan pizza in your home oven. It's gonna hold up really well. I know because I've tested it many times. We are all carved up in this house with lots and lots of pizza. So the first thing I'm gonna use is this pizza peel, and I have a little King Arthur flour in this bowl that I'm gonna just smooth onto my pizza peel. I believe we have some nearby landscaping happening, don't you think? Hopefully that's not super distracting. Okay, I'm gonna use my dough scraper and grab one of these little doughs. How are we doing over there? Anybody making any moves?
They're all focused.
Focused on the spectacle of the fire. Okay, so here I have my little dough. So the other thing about Neapolitan pizza is that it's usually personal sized, so about 10 to 12 inches in diameter. Nothing big, because you're supposed to eat it by yourself, and they're usually not even going to slice it. They are going to serve it to you with a fork and knife, and you're going to eat it like a steak. Okay. So we have this is really nice. So the King Arthur flour really holds up well. It is nice and stretchy, but it's also really nice and fluffy. Now the dough typically for Neapolitan pizza, it is just type 00 flour, yeast, salt, and water. They don't usually add olive oil to the dough when you're making it in an oven like this. However, when I make my dough for the home oven, I do add about 3 tablespoons of Colavita extra virgin olive oil, because I feel like because you're cooking it in your home oven 10 minutes, 12 minutes, it's easy for the dough to dry out, and the olive oil is going to help keep it moist. So that's a tip, because I'm sure not many of you have this contraption in your backyard. Maybe some of you do. Really exciting. Okay, so one thing you want to do is you just want to make sure your pizza slides. And then I'm going to grab my Colavita crushed tomatoes right here. Nice little ladle. And put those on. You don't want to overload your pizza with a lot of toppings. It should be really simple. I still want to see the bottom of the dough underneath the tomatoes a little bit, so thin layer. Remember, this is for one person, so it's really supposed to be what one person can eat. Pretty simple. Then I'm going to add a little salt over the top. I'm already getting hungry. And then I have my mozzarella cheese that I've torn into little pieces. And I'm going to place those strategically around the top, symmetrically if possible. It's pretty good. All right. And then I'm going to put a little Colavita over the top, and we're going to slide it into the oven. And hopefully it still slides. We're good. Okay. I'm just going to slide it in there right next to the fire. So the fire right now is over on this side. Is that left for you guys? Yeah. Okay. And it's going over the top. So this is domed on the inside, so the flames can go up and over, cooking from the top, but also it's been heating up for a while with these ceramic stones, so it's heating it from the bottom as well, much like what a pizza stone tries to replicate in your home oven. So in your home oven, what a good idea is, if you have 2 pizza stones, put one on the top and one on the bottom, and heat your oven up for about an hour, so that you can get that radiant heat from the top that will sort of imitate at a much lower temperature what a pizza oven can do. All right, so now what I do is I take this fancy thing, this is a little spinner, and I'm gonna rotate it a little bit because I want each side of the pizza to be closest to the flame at a certain point. So, this way. Yeah. I just slide this under here and I rotate it around towards me so it spins. And I give the other side a few minutes. Not really, this should cook in about 90 seconds. So, but I give it a little bit of time just to get close to the fire. And then I'm gonna pretty much take it out soon. But you can see, you start to rotate it when it starts to puff up a bit. And then you rotate to the other side. And then sometimes what you can do, just to finish it off, if your flames are really high, you can hold it up a bit and just toast the top. That's my own personal way to do things. But then we are done. So we're going to take it out. And this is the trickiest part because I hope not to drop it. Yeah. All right. And this is when the basil comes in. So you see I have some little spotting here, and the crust got nice and fluffy. I'm gonna add a little basil. So the basil goes on after because basil is really delicate, and in a 900-degree oven, it would just burn up. So right after, if your leaves are really big, you can split them up a bit. And then that's it, really. If you wanted to add a little more Colavita at the end just to finish it off, you could. But that's the whole story. Shall we slice it? Yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, we'll try this little piece. Yeah, so this is really nice and pillowy. It looks really good, and that's it. And see how it's like kind of floppy? That's what you actually want. You don't want it to be super crispy. That would be, you could definitely achieve that in your home oven. We're gonna give it a shot. And then on the bottom, you can see how nice, and you have these nice little crispy char marks on the bottom. All right, let's see what we have. It's so good. It's like really so good. It brings a tear to my eye.
Vivian says, nice job.
Thank you. I have to tell you, like, just simple tomatoes, mozzarella, basil, good quality olive oil, obviously Colavita, and great flour. That is really all you need for this kind of a thing. Also, remember to keep your dough balls covered from the air, or else they're gonna They'll get a little crusty. Nobody wants that. So, I guess that's really all. If anybody has questions about the pizza truck itself or making pizza, now's your time. But that's one of the shortest lives we've ever done.
We're very hungry. Everyone loves the oven and pizza looks great.
That's great. The other thing you have to keep in mind is you kind of have to keep adding wood to it. So you want to make sure that those flames are continually going over the top of that dome. And I also want to give a shout to Mary and Andy, who are our pizza truck team, and they are here to help me with this today, staying 6 feet away from me the whole time, and we're outside, so it's all good. But I don't do this by myself. Thank goodness. It takes a small village, and we have the support, so it's really nice. All right, guys. Well, that is pretty much it. I'm going to eat this pizza. And if you have any questions the remaining of the day, throw them in there, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. All right. Ciao for now, guys. Thanks. I'm taking this piece of crust with me.
Live video.